The Deep Space Monitoring Station was quiet, almost too quiet. Only the low hum of machines filled the room. Lieutenant Kara Lee sat at the communications console, her eyes scanning endless lines of numbers and symbols. She had been working nights like this for months, watching for anything unusual in the dark stretches of space. Usually, it was just empty signals, static, or distant stars blinking across the sensors. Tonight, however, something was different. A soft beep drew her attention. A faint signal had appeared on the screen. It was weak, almost fading into the background noise. Kara frowned and leaned closer. She ran the signal through the analyzer, watching the patterns form on the monitor. Something about it felt wrong. Not wrong in a dangerous way, but wrong in a way that made her heart beat faster. "Commander," she called quietly, not taking her eyes off the console. "We have a signal. It's faint, but it's definitely intelligent. I can't identify its origin yet." The commander, a tall man with silver hair and sharp eyes, walked over. He studied the screen, his expression calm but cautious. "Intelligent? Are you sure? Could it be a test signal from our own systems?" "I've checked everything. It's coming from outside our galaxy, and it's calling for help, I think." Her voice was barely above a whisper. The room fell silent. The other analysts looked up, curiosity and unease written on their faces. "Calling for help?" one of them repeated. "How can you tell?" "The pattern. It repeats in a way that matches SOS codes, but it's not exactly like anything we've seen. It's different, advanced, but urgent." Kara's fingers flew across the keyboard, running more scans and simulations. The commander rubbed his chin. "Bring me the coordinates. Let's see where this leads." Kara did so. The coordinates blinked on the screen, pointing to a section of uncharted space. There were no stars listed in any of the databases, no known planets, nothing, just darkness. "Uncharted space," the commander muttered. "That's risky. We've never sent anyone there before. Could be a trap." "Maybe," said Kara, trying to hide her excitement. "But what if it isn't? What if someone or something is really out there in trouble?" The room buzzed with tension. Analysts argued, some saying they should ignore it, others suggesting caution. The debate grew heated, but the signal continued. It grew stronger, clearer, impossible to ignore. Then it happened. The screen flashed, and a new part of the signal appeared. This time, the code included symbols that resembled nothing Kara had seen before. It was as if the signal was adapting, learning, trying to communicate more directly. And then, for a brief moment, a word appeared. "Humans." The room went silent. Kara's fingers froze on the keyboard. It's calling us. Specifically us," she whispered. The commander's eyes widened. "Are you certain?" Kara nodded slowly. "Yes, it knows us, or at least it thinks we're the ones who can help." No one spoke for several seconds. Then the alarms on the console beeped rapidly. The signal intensified, pulsing across multiple frequencies. Lights blinked on and off, and the machines whirred louder. It was urgent now, almost desperate. The analysts leaned closer, trying to decipher the symbols. It's moving," one of them said. "The signal is changing direction. It's guiding us somewhere." Kara's heart pounded. This was no ordinary message. Whoever or whatever was sending it, they needed help, and they had somehow found humans in a galaxy of countless civilizations. "Commander," Kara said firmly, "we have to respond. We can't ignore this. It could be life or death out there." The commander hesitated. He thought of the risks, the unknown dangers of sending a ship into uncharted space, but he also saw the determination in Kara's eyes. Against his better judgment, he nodded. "Prepare a scout ship, lightly armed, take scientists, engineers, whoever is needed, but be careful. This could be a trap." Kara's lips curled into a small smile. "Understood, sir. We'll be ready." As preparations began, Kara couldn't stop thinking about the word that had appeared on the screen. Humans. Why humans? There were thousands of species in the galaxy. Why would they pick them? Hours passed. The scout ship was fueled and ready, the crew briefed, and final checks complete. Kara stood on the observation deck, watching as Earth slowly rotated below. She felt a mixture of fear and excitement. This was bigger than anything she had ever faced, bigger than any mission. Then the signal pulsed again, brighter this time, almost as if it knew the humans were listening. The words appeared again, faint but unmistakable. Humans, help. Kara swallowed hard. She knew one thing for certain. Humanity was about to step into a story that would change everything. And no one, no scientist, no soldier, no leader, could predict what would come next. A shadow moved across the sensors, distant but enormous. Kara's breath caught. Something was coming, something was waiting, and whatever it was, the first step of this journey was about to begin. The room held its breath. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, and somewhere in the darkness, a call had been sent, one that would bring the entire human race into the unknown.
The scout ship hung in the docking bay, gleaming under the bright lights. Lieutenant Kara Lee walked along its hull, checking every panel, every seam. Engineers bustled around her, double-checking engines and life support systems. Despite the careful preparations, Kara felt a knot of tension in her stomach. Inside the command center, the Council of Leaders argued. Military generals frowned, pointing at star maps and tactical reports. Scientists scribbled calculations, muttering about probabilities and unknown dangers. "This is too risky," one general said sharply. "We have no idea what's waiting in that part of space. It could be a trap. We could lose the entire crew." A scientist shook her head. "Or it could be the first real contact with an intelligent alien species. We can't ignore it. They're calling us for help. That is significant." The debate grew louder. Some leaders wanted to send a message, a warning. "We received your signal, but we will not respond." Others argued that doing nothing could make humanity look weak in the galaxy. Kara listened quietly, weighing every word. Finally, she spoke. "We can't ignore them. If it's real, and it seems real, we are the only ones they contacted. Someone has to go. Someone has to try." The room fell silent. Every eye turned to her. The commander, standing near the front, regarded her carefully. "You would lead the mission?" he asked. Kara nodded. "I will, but I need a team. Scientists, engineers, navigators. We must be prepared for anything, but we must go." The commander exhaled slowly. "Very well. Prepare the scout ship. You leave at dawn." As the night stretched on, Kara and her team ran final simulations. They practiced communication drills, emergency protocols, and navigation through unknown space. The signal continued to pulse across their systems, faint but insistent. Every time it appeared, it seemed to guide them like a beacon. Somewhere deep in the station, analysts whispered about the word that had appeared in the signal. Humans. Why humans? Kara tried to push the question aside. Answers would come later. Right now, they had to survive the journey. At sunrise, the crew gathered on the launch deck. Kara stepped forward and addressed them. "We don't know what we will find. It could be a simple distress call, or it could be something dangerous. But one thing is certain. Someone has called for help, and that someone chose us. We must answer. Humanity has a chance to prove itself." The crew nodded, their faces tight with determination and anxiety. Engineers finished the final checks. The engines roared to life, filling the hangar with deep vibrations. The doors opened, revealing the vast blackness of space beyond. The scout ship lifted off smoothly, leaving Earth behind. Kara's eyes scanned the controls. The coordinates from the signal were locked in, guiding them into the unknown.
Hours passed in tense silence. The crew monitored sensors and systems. Nothing unusual appeared at first. Then, strange distortions began. Lights flickered on the monitors. Gravity readings jumped unexpectedly. The stars outside seemed to bend, stretching into long, thin lines. "Commander, I'm reading anomalies ahead," the navigator said nervously. "Energy readings spike every few minutes. It's almost like space itself is unstable." Kara leaned closer. Could it be a natural phenomenon? Unlikely. It's too precise. It seems artificial. Someone or something is creating it. The crew exchanged worried glances. Kara felt her heart beat faster. The unknown stretched before them, beautiful and terrifying. Every second brought new questions, and no one had answers. Then, suddenly, the sensors lit up with hundreds of blips, small at first, then growing larger. The alien fleet was responding. Thousands of kilometers away, ships jumped into movement. The crew stared in disbelief. "Is that?" an engineer whispered. Kara's voice was steady but tense. "Yes, that's them. The aliens. They're coming, faster than we expected." The crew realized the gravity of the situation. This was no simple rescue mission. Humanity had just stepped into a story bigger than anything they could imagine. As the ship moved closer to the coordinates, the signal pulsed again, clearer now, almost urgent. It repeated the word that had haunted Kara since the first contact: humans. The aliens needed them. They trusted them. Kara gritted her teeth. "Whatever is waiting out there," she said softly, "we face it together. We are the first humans to answer the call. We cannot fail." Suddenly, a shadow passed over the sensors of the ship. Something huge, moving fast, larger than any known vessel. The crew froze, watching the readings spike. "What is that?" someone asked. Kara did not answer immediately. Her mind raced. Could it be part of the alien fleet, or something else entirely? A trap? A predator? The unknown hung over them like a dark cloud. Every instinct told Kara to be careful, but every part of her wanted to move forward. The signal had chosen them. Humanity had been called. And for the first time, Kara felt the weight of responsibility, not just for herself or the crew, but for the entire human race. Out there in the cold blackness of space, someone needed help, and they were humanity's first real chance to show who they were. The scout ship continued its journey. The stars stretched endlessly before them. The shadow on the sensors moved closer. The signal pulsed again, faint, urgent, impossible to ignore. Kara whispered under her breath, "We are coming. Hold on. We are coming." The room was tense. Outside, the void awaited, and somewhere in the darkness, a species called out for help, mistakenly, but now entirely, to humanity. Humanity's test had begun.
The scout ship glided silently through the dark expanse of uncharted space. The crew stared at the monitors, their faces pale in the dim glow of the instruments. Every second brought them closer to the unknown coordinates. Kara leaned over the console, her fingers tapping nervously. She could feel her heart beating faster. "Approaching target area," the navigator announced. "Sensors are picking up a structure, or a ship. It's damaged, barely holding together." The crew exchanged worried glances. The damaged vessel appeared massive on the screens, half broken, smoke and sparks spilling from its hull. Strange shapes hovered around it, energy fields flickering. Kara's jaw tightened. "Bring us closer, slowly. We don't know what's waiting for us, but we have to be ready." The ship edged forward, careful not to trigger any sudden reactions. Then, a hatch on the alien vessel opened, releasing a soft glow. A smaller craft emerged, floating toward the scout ship. Sensors indicated life forms on board, but their readings were strange, nothing the crew had ever seen. "Sir, "I'm detecting an alien life form," the science officer said, voice trembling slightly. "They're alive, but weak. Injuries, extensive." Kara swallowed hard. "Prepare a docking protocol. We bring them aboard, stabilize them, and learn what we can." The crew worked quickly, tension thick in the air. The smaller craft aligned with the scout ship, and the docking clamps locked with a hiss. Kara motioned to the medics, who hurried inside to help. The hatch opened, revealing the alien commander. Kara froze for a moment, staring at the tall, thin figure with glowing eyes. His skin shimmered faintly, like liquid metal in soft light. His movements were slow, strained. "I am Sereth," the alien whispered, voice weak but urgent. "Help, must—" The medics guided Sereth inside. Machines beeped as they attached life support monitors and stabilizers. Kara knelt beside him, trying to understand. "You are safe now. We will help you." Sereth's eyes flickered to the monitors. He coughed, his voice strained. "We were attacked. Warlord fleet. Homeworld destroyed. SOS sent randomly." Kara listened, piecing it together. "You sent a distress signal. It reached us by mistake. That's why humans are helping." Sereth nodded weakly. "Yes, humans. Known. Brave. Clever. Hope." The crew exchanged astonished looks. Humans. Known. Across galaxies? Kara felt a surge of pride, but also fear. They were far from Earth, in the middle of unknown space, facing beings whose trust they had just earned. "Sir," Kara said, addressing her commander through the communicator, "they're exhausted but alive. Their species. They trusted humans by mistake, and now we are the first to answer." The commander's voice came back, calm but tense. "Understood, Lieutenant. Keep them stable. Do not provoke them. Gather as much information as you can. We need to know the situation before making any further moves." Kara nodded and turned back to Sereth. "Tell me everything. Who attacked you? What do you need from us?" Sereth's glowing eyes scanned the room. "Warlord fleet. Aggressive. Seeking control. We fled. SOS. To any. Intelligent. Could reach. Receive." His voice was slow, labored, but the message was clear. Their civilization was in danger, and humanity had become their unexpected hope. Kara's mind raced. This was far bigger than a simple rescue. The fate of an entire alien species now rested, at least in part, on humans. Suddenly, the sensors picked up movement outside the scout ship. Shadows danced across the monitors. The Warlord fleet, or scouts of it, was approaching. Kara's pulse quickened. "Prepare defenses, shields up, ready weapons, but no aggressive action unless necessary." The alien commander gave a weak nod, as if grateful and relieved at the same time. "Trust, humans, must follow." Hours passed as the medics stabilized Sereth and the scientists analyzed his ship. Kara learned more about the aliens: advanced technology, faster than light travel, energy shields far superior to humanity's, and AI-assisted command systems. But despite their advanced tech, they were vulnerable, scattered, and desperate. Kara looked at her crew. "We may not have the firepower they do, but we have something just as important: creativity, strategy, and courage. That may be the difference." As night fell across the uncharted void, the scout ship hovered near the damaged alien vessel. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, calm but deceptive. Kara felt the tension building. Every moment could bring the enemy closer. Every second could change everything. Then, another message from Sereth came, weak but urgent. "Fleet, coming. Humans must lead. Survival." Kara felt a shiver run down her spine. Humans were about to step into a story far beyond Earth. They were not just rescuers, they were becoming leaders, strategists, the unexpected heroes of an alien species. Kara clenched her fists. "We won't fail," she whispered. "Humanity never fails."
The scout ship floated near the damaged alien vessel, quiet in the vast blackness of space. Kara Lee stood at the bridge, staring at the sensors. Her heart raced. The readings showed movement, hundreds of ships, fast, coordinated, and enormous. "They're coming," the navigator said, voice trembling. "The fleet, it's responding." The crew stared in disbelief. What had begun as a single SOS had grown into something unimaginable. A full alien fleet was moving across the void, converging on their location. Thousands of ships, all advanced, all alert, all responding to humans. Kara leaned forward, trying to make sense of it. How fast can they reach us? The navigator typed quickly. At their current speed, minutes, maybe less. The crew exchanged worried looks. Humans had never faced anything like this. Earth's fleets were nothing compared to what was approaching, and yet the aliens seemed to expect humans to act as leaders. Kara felt a mix of awe and fear. "Alert the medics and engineers," Kara said. "Keep Sereth stable. We may have to move fast once the fleet arrives." Outside, the stars shimmered, but the sensors showed something far more extraordinary. Ships of all sizes and shapes jumped from hyperspace, appearing in perfect formation. Some were sleek and long, others round and armored. The sheer scale was breathtaking. Kara felt a chill. "They're huge," whispered one engineer. "I've never seen anything like it." Sereth, weak but conscious, looked at Kara. His glowing eyes seemed to hold gratitude and urgency at the same time. Humans, clever, unpredictable, hope, must lead. Kara took a deep breath. The aliens had chosen humans for a reason, and now it was clear why. They needed someone capable of thinking differently, someone who could adapt, someone bold. The bridge shook as a ship passed closely by. Kara's pulse quickened. "We are not the center of this yet, but soon we will be. Prepare for coordination. We may have to communicate with the fleet." The science officer, staring at the monitors, muttered, "They recognize our ship as the signal source, and our presence commands attention. They're listening, waiting." Kara's eyes narrowed. She realized the truth. Humanity had inadvertently become the leaders of this fleet, not because of technology, but because someone or something saw potential in humans' courage and ingenuity. Suddenly, a shadow passed over the scout ship. The sensors spiked, warning alarms blaring. The Warlord fleet, a smaller but aggressive group, had arrived faster than expected. Kara's stomach dropped. "They're scouts. Attacking?" the navigator asked. "Not yet," Kara said, "but they could be. Prepare defenses. Keep shields on standby. Stay calm and wait for my orders." The alien commander Sereth spoke weakly but clearly. "Humans, guide, must, protect, survival." Kara's resolve hardened. "We will do our best. That is all we can do." The ships of the alien fleet slowed as they formed a perimeter around the damaged vessel and the scout ship. Thousands of lights blinked across the void, massive shapes moving in perfect formation. Kara could feel the weight of their presence. They were waiting for a signal, for direction, and somehow it was humanity's job to provide it. "Open a communication channel," Kara said. "We need to let them know we are here and that we are ready to assist." The crew followed orders, nerves taut. A channel opened, a soft glow illuminating the bridge. One by one, alien symbols appeared, translating to a language Kara could understand, thanks to Sereth's assistance. "Humans, your presence, trust, guide, survival." Kara swallowed hard. "We are here. We will help. Show us what you need, and we will do our best." For the first time, the aliens responded with coordinated movements. Their ships arranged themselves into formations, signaling readiness. Kara realized something extraordinary. They were looking to humans for strategy, leadership, and guidance. The warlord fleet moved closer, testing the perimeter. Kara studied the sensors, calculating the angles, the speed, the gaps. She began issuing simple commands through the comms, coordinating with the alien ships. Her suggestions were small at first, maneuvers, positions, and defensive patterns, but the aliens followed them perfectly. "It's working," whispered the engineer. "They're listening. They're actually following our instructions." Kara felt a surge of determination. "Keep calm, watch their movements, learn their strengths. We are the bridge between their fleet and survival. We cannot fail." Hours passed as the alien fleet assembled, massive and imposing, ready to defend their wounded allies. The warlord fleet remained at the edge, testing, waiting, calculating. Every sensor reading, every decision mattered. Kara realized that humans, small, inexperienced, and outnumbered, had suddenly become the unexpected leaders of a galactic battle. Sereth, finally stabilized, whispered, "Humans, they trust you, clever, brave." Kara looked out into the darkness. Thousands of alien ships, millions of lives depending on them. She clenched her fists. This was not just a mission. This was a chance to prove humanity's worth in the galaxy, to show courage, intelligence, and creativity where machines or sheer numbers could not. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. The alien fleet shimmered like a river of lights in space, and somewhere, at the edge of sensors, the warlord fleet waited. Kara whispered, almost to herself, "Let's show them what humanity can do." The first move of the galaxy's newest conflict was about to begin, and humanity was ready.
The alien fleet stretched across the black void, vast and organized, waiting for humanity's guidance. Kara Lee stood at the bridge, staring at the swirling formations of ships on the monitors. Outside, the warlord fleet lingered, a dark, aggressive force probing for weaknesses. "This is it," Kara whispered to her crew. "They're waiting for our instructions. Every move we make will decide survival." The science officer nodded nervously. "We've never commanded anything like this. These ships, they're powerful, faster, smarter than anything humans have ever built." Kara clenched her fists. "That doesn't matter. They may have power, but humans have something they can't. Creativity, adaptability, and courage. That's what they need now." The bridge hummed with tension. Every sensor beep, every blinking light seemed amplified. Kara turned to Sereth, still weak but conscious. "Can your fleet communicate strategy? Can they understand our tactics?" Sereth's glowing eyes flickered. "Yes, understand, follow, trust, humans, lead, survival." The first test came quickly. A warlord scout ship darted into the perimeter, firing energy pulses at the damaged vessel. Kara's pulse quickened. Defensive maneuvers. Move the fleet left. Shield the wounded ship. Maintain formation. The alien ships obeyed. Their movements were fluid, precise, faster than any human command would suggest, yet they followed Kara's instructions exactly, forming a protective barrier. "It's working," the navigator breathed. "They're trusting us." Another attack followed. A small squad of warlord ships flanked the perimeter. Kara studied the sensors, calculating speed, angles, and energy levels. "Divide the fleet, trap the attackers in a narrow corridor, use their speed against them, minimal damage to our side."
The crew watched in awe as the alien ships executed the plan perfectly. The warlord ships were caught off guard, forced to retreat. Kara's heart pounded. Humanity had turned the tide of the first skirmish. Sareth, still weak but watching closely, whispered, "Humans, clever, faster thinking, brave, must continue." Hours passed. Each wave of attacks tested the humans and the fleet. Kara gave instructions, adjusted strategies, and improvised as needed. The crew worked tirelessly, analyzing patterns, predicting movements, and finding solutions. At one point, a massive warlord ship appeared, larger than anything seen before, its energy weapons glowing ominously. The fleet hesitated. Kara realized the alien ships had never encountered anything like it. She took a deep breath. "Focus fire on weak points," she instructed. "Use flanking maneuvers. Draw them into our corridor. Let them overextend, then surround them." The alien ships responded, moving with precision. The human crew's strategy, simple yet creative, turned what seemed like an unbeatable threat into a manageable one. The massive warlord ship was caught unguarded, forced to retreat. Kara's heart pounded. Humanity had turned the tide of the first skirmish. Sareth, still weak but watching closely, spoke again. "Humans, lead, victory, hope, entire civilization, thanks." Kara's chest swelled with pride. "It's not just me, it's all of us. Humanity, our people, our creativity, our courage, it made this possible. We proved that intelligence and courage can overcome even the greatest odds." The crew nodded. Exhausted but proud, they realized the truth. This was not merely a battle. It was a test of humanity itself. The aliens had relied on them, and humans had delivered. Kara turned to the navigator. "Prepare a message for the fleet. Tell them our mission isn't over. There may be more threats, but we will continue together." Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. The alien fleet shimmered like a river of lights, a living testament to humanity's ability to rise to the challenge. And somewhere, in the distant darkness, the next signal, stronger, clearer, more urgent, was waiting. Humanity's journey had just begun. The warlord fleet had retreated beyond sensor range, leaving the alien fleet calm but alert. The scout ship floated among the massive vessels, small but significant. Kara Lee stood at the bridge, her hands resting lightly on the console. She could hardly believe how far humanity had come in just a few days. Sareth, the alien commander, now fully stabilized, hovered nearby. His glowing eyes scanned the fleet, then focused on Kara. "Humans, brave, clever, leaders, survival, history, changed." Kara nodded, feeling a mix of pride and humility. "We did what we had to do. Together, humans and your fleet. That is what matters." The alien ships moved gracefully, forming a perfect formation around the damaged vessels. Kara noticed subtle gestures of respect from Sareth's fleet, lights flickering in intricate patterns, signaling gratitude and acknowledgement. Humanity's creativity and strategy had earned them trust across a species that spanned countless worlds. "Commander," the science officer said, "they're celebrating. I think they're honoring us." Kara stepped closer to the observation window. The alien fleet stretched as far as the eye could see, each ship a symbol of survival and hope. The glow from thousands of energy cores reflected faintly on the scout ship's hull. She felt a shiver of awe. Humanity, fragile and inexperienced, had become heroes in a galaxy far beyond Earth. Sareth floated closer, voice calm but filled with emotion. "Humans, unexpected. Our species, saved. Your courage, creativity, honor, history, together." Kara's crew exchanged proud glances. Engineers, medics, and navigators alike felt a deep satisfaction. Their choices, small and large, had mattered. Their ingenuity had preserved an entire civilization. The fleet began preparations for departure. The damaged vessels would be repaired, their people escorted to safety. Kara watched as smaller alien ships docked with massive repair stations, a ballet of technology and precision. Every movement spoke of organization, gratitude, and trust. Sareth's voice came again, quieter this time. Humans, future, alliance, protection, promise. Kara nodded, understanding. Humanity had gained something far beyond victory in battle. They had earned recognition and trust from an advanced alien species. The galaxy now knew humans were capable of courage, strategy, and leadership. "Commander," the science officer said, "they're sending messages, intricate light patterns spread across their formations." Kara stepped closer to the observation window. The alien fleet stretched as far as the eye could see, each ship a symbol of survival and hope. The glow from thousands of energy cores reflected faintly on the scout ship's hull. She felt a shiver of awe. Humanity, fragile and inexperienced, had become heroes in a galaxy far beyond Earth. Sareth floated closer, voice calm but filled with emotion. "Humans, expected. Our species, saved. Your courage, creativity, honor, history, together." Kara's crew exchanged proud glances. Engineers, medics, and navigators alike felt a deep satisfaction. Their choices, small and large, had mattered. Their ingenuity had preserved an entire civilization. The fleet began preparations for departure. The damaged vessels would be repaired, their people escorted to safety. Kara watched as smaller alien ships docked with massive repair stations, a ballet of technology and precision. Every movement spoke of organization, gratitude, and trust. Sareth's voice came again, quieter this time. "Humans, future, alliance, protection, promise." Kara nodded, understanding. Humanity had gained something far beyond victory in battle. They had earned recognition and trust from an advanced alien species. The galaxy now knew humans were capable of courage, strategy, and leadership. "Prepare a message to our command back on Earth. They need to know. Humanity has made a mark, and this is only the beginning." The crew followed orders, sending detailed reports of their actions, the fleet's response, and the warlord threat. Kara paused as she watched the stars outside. Somewhere, in distant galaxies, civilizations were learning the name of humans. A small species, fragile and untested, had shown unexpected brilliance. Sareth floated beside her. "Humans, never doubt. Clever, brave, protect, universe." Kara smiled faintly. "We don't seek glory, but we will act when needed. That is who we are." Suddenly, sensors picked up a faint signal, far away in a region of space no one had charted. Kara's pulse quickened. Another call, another chance to prove humanity's courage. She looked at her crew. "It seems our journey is far from over. Humanity has been chosen again." The crew exchanged excited, nervous glances. Their first mission into unknown space had already changed history. The possibility of new adventures, challenges, and discoveries filled them with energy. Kara felt a thrill she had never experienced before. "Set course for home, but keep sensors active. We never know what the galaxy might send our way." As the scout ship moved forward, the alien fleet accompanied them briefly, forming a protective cordon. Their presence was reassuring, a reminder of trust and shared purpose. Kara realized something profound. Humanity had not only survived, but had proven that intelligence, courage, and creativity could be more powerful than numbers or technology alone. Hours passed. The scout ship, though small, carried humanity's triumph in every panel, every system, and every crew member's heart. Kara reflected on the journey. The first strange signal, the decision to respond, the first contact with Sereth, and the challenges of coordinating a fleet larger than any humans had ever seen. Somewhere deep in the void, the stars stretched endlessly. Kara looked at the twinkling lights, thinking of Earth, and then back at the alien fleet. A sense of responsibility settled on her shoulders. Humanity had proven itself, but the universe was vast, full of threats and opportunities. They could not rest. Sereth's voice broke her thoughts. Humans, allies, forever, galaxy, remembers. Kara nodded. We will continue to act with courage, intelligence, and creativity. That is the human way. As the alien fleet slowly departed, heading to distant worlds, the scout ship continued toward home. Kara stood at the observation deck, looking out at the stars. Somewhere, across uncharted regions, the warlord fleet would remember the clever humans who had outsmarted them. Somewhere, civilizations would hear whispers of humanity's bravery. And somewhere, another signal would appear. Faint, perhaps a mistake, perhaps a call for help. Humanity would answer. Again. Kara whispered to herself, a soft vow to the universe. We are human. We will rise. We will protect. And we will never fail. The scout ship glided through the void, small but proud, carrying not just humans, but humanity's reputation, courage, and spirit into the endless universe. The first adventure was over. The story of the human fleet had begun.